Hello, my people. This is Expressive Tone TV, conveying your thoughts and feelings to the world. Guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is the Presidential Election Tribunal Judgment Day. Today, 6th of September 2023, is the Judgment Day. As we all know, like the Bible said, when men slept, the enemy came to sow tares among the wheat. As we were sleeping, after that election of February 25th, 2023, result was announced. It was given to somebody that we did not vote for. So they went to court. Though we have been hearing some funny stories that, oh, they already do the judgments. They have done this, they have done that. But today, they are going to be live. I don't know why they decided to be live today. Baba Agbado don't travel. So, you know what cannot happen in Nigeria does not exist. But however, today is the judgment day. They are going to be live. So I want you to be live. I want you to watch what they are about to do in this country. We will not be too surprised, but it would have been good if only the judiciary can save this country from the mess that we are already in and from what is coming up upon them. So today is the judgment day. I don't want to talk too much. I'm going to allow you to watch some videos so that you will understand the things that you are supposed to look out for. There are certain areas that you are supposed to look out for. So you will look out for them. Please watch video.
As you already know, Judgment Day is here. The appeal court just announced that the presidential election petition judgment will be delivered on Wednesday, 6th September 2023. We will make a recap of the main issues the judges will answer on Wednesday. After that, we will take a look at some conspiracies that have spread since the presiding judge adjourned the court so that they can deliberate and deliver judgment. While we are looking at the main questions and interpretations the judges will do on Judgment Day, if you live in an English-speaking country and you understand written English well enough, please comment your understanding of the following text. This section 134 of Nigeria's constitution explains the conditions that a candidate must fulfill before being declared winner in a presidential election. It says, a candidate for an election to the office of president shall be deemed to have been duly elected where there being more than two candidates for the election. A. He has the highest number of votes cast at the election, and B. He has not less than 1/4 of the votes cast at the election, each of at least 2/3 of all the states in the federation and the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. Yes, that's what it says. This subsection 2A and B. The petitioners believe that Tinubu's declaration was in violation of this section. So, just to give you a hint before you write your comment, the main bone of contention is this and. They want the court to determine if it is playing a conjugative role or a disjunctive one. Yes, no need going into details because that will introduce bias. Before you write your comments, this issue has been overflogged in many videos that we made. The next one is the one that deals on disqualifications. This section outlines all the grounds that a presidential candidate can be disqualified. Let's just read the one that is in contention. That is subsection 1D. A person shall not be qualified for election to the office of president if A. This A is not our concern. As you can see, all of them are separated by this or. You can see this B is separated by or. So they are categorized differently. The bone of contention is D. It says, he is under a sentence of death imposed by any competent court of law or tribunal in Nigeria, or a sentence of imprisonment or fine for any offense involving dishonesty or fraud. Then in brackets, it says by whatever name called, or for any other offense imposed on him by any court or tribunal, or substituted by a competent authority for any other sentence imposed on him by such a court or tribunal, or, let's hold it for a moment. When you look at this section, it seems that the drafters, their intention is to categorize all felonies under one section. By saying by whatever name called, it means they want to capture even future crimes. Yes, that's how they write laws. For instance, when this law was written in 1999, there was nothing like cyber crimes. No one knew what it was. By using the word whatever name called, it somehow captures cyber crimes and other crimes not known at the time it was written. When you read subsection E, you will understand that this section deals with misdemeanors. It says, within a period of less than 10 years before the date of the election to the office of president, he has been convicted and sentenced to an offense involving dishonesty, or he has been found guilty of the contravention of the Code of Conduct. Or, this section deals with Code of Conduct Bureau. It's a special court in Nigeria that deals with the conduct of elected persons while they are in office. People that are elected to executive offices in Nigeria, someone like a president, a governor, a local government chairman, they are all required by law to fill out a form declaring their assets before taking up the office. They are also required by law to fill out a second form when they are leaving office declaring their assets. This is to help the Code of Conduct Bureau to make comparisons and conduct investigations to know if they stole in office and trace any corrupt activities. Even Tinubu was brought to this court in 2011 because of his activities while he was in office as governor of Lagos State. They accused him of running foreign accounts, which is against the law in Nigeria. In his defense, he said that the foreign accounts he ran while he was governor was used to pay for the school fees of his kids abroad. At the end of the day, the court didn't even decide the matter based on its merits. It was dismissed based on technicality. Now, back to section 137, the reason the petitioners believe that Tinubu violated this section was because of the forfeiture he made in the United States. Because this section deals with dishonesty and fraud, and by whatever name called, it's a collective name for all felonies. So the fact that Tinubu was involved in narcotics trafficking and money laundering in the United States, he forfeited $460,000 being proceeds of narcotics trafficking to the US government in 1993. So based on this, the petitioners asked the court to disqualify him because the US Supreme Court has defined a fine as a punishment for a crime. Yes, it's one of the precedents in the United States they cited during their arguments in court. Even in Nigeria, there's a judicial precedent that supports this claim that a fine is as a result of a crime that was committed, that the government cannot wake up one day and just seize someone's property without the person committing a crime. In fact, the current Chief Justice of Nigeria was among the panel of justices that delivered that judgment. So these are the two main constitutional breaches the petitioners are hoping that the court will consider and disqualify Tinubu. There's a third one. In this one, he missed a deadline. According to the laws that govern elections in Nigeria, when a vice presidential candidate resigns before the election, the main candidate, that's the presidential candidate, is supposed to replace him within 2 weeks. And according to the law, failure to replace him within those 2 weeks, the party will now have to conduct a fresh presidential primary. Yes, that's what the law says. Tinubu failed to nominate a new vice presidential candidate within the time, and having failed the time, his party also failed to hold a fresh presidential primary. So based on this breach, one of the petitioners is asking the court to disqualify him, that according to the law, his party did not have a candidate in the election. There's a fourth one. It's part of the long list of conditions that a candidate will breach and he will be disqualified automatically. It's about the forgery of his certificate. As we have covered in many videos, the petitioners proved that the certificate he submitted is different from the one Chicago State University issued him in 1979. So while the evidence is there in court already and will be part of the judgment that they will deliver on Wednesday, Atiku is still in Chicago. He wants to substantiate the evidence by getting the admission records of the person called Bola Tinubu. He can still submit it at the Supreme Court, that's on appeal. Whether the court disqualifies him or not, he can still file the new evidence on appeal at the Supreme Court. Now, it's not finished. There's a fifth one. This one is still a constitutional matter. Why we are taking it one by one is just to make people understand the gravity and the baggages that will be insurmountable in court. This fifth one deals with dual nationality. It's not as if the Nigerian constitution abhors dual nationality. No, that's not the issue. The issue is that the law is against someone who has sworn an oath of allegiance to another country. Any person who in his own volition takes up a nationality of another country is not qualified to hold executive office in Nigeria. If someone is born in the United States, no one can determine where he is born. You cannot determine your nationality as a newborn. That's by the way. But if you went to United States or any other country as a migrant and you decide to take up their citizenship, that means you must swear an oath of allegiance. A natural born will never need to do that. You don't need to swear an oath of allegiance to your natural born country. So the petitioners proved that he acquired another nationality and lied about it while filing his particulars, because there's a section where you are asked, do you hold any other nationality apart from Nigeria? You either indicate yes or indicate no. In the case of Tinubu, he said no, that he didn't have any other nationality. But the petitioners proved that he lied in court. They tendered his passport that he willfully acquired by himself. Now, let's see the last one. It's not finished. This one, his vice presidential candidate violated one of the laws governing elections in Nigeria. That law says that no candidate in an election shall hold two nominations at the same time. His vice presidential candidate initially held a senatorial nomination before he was nominated by Tinubu. So the petitioners proved that his vice presidential candidate did not correctly resign from his earlier senatorial nomination before taking up the new vice presidential nomination. Now to the last one, the election proper. He didn't win. Let's just cut it short. The petitioners proved that the Electoral Commission wrongly declared Tinubu as winner in 2 states where they won. The evidence they used to prove this are ballot papers that the Electoral Commission brought to court themselves. When these ballots are counted and collated, it shows that the Labour Party candidate Peter Obi won in those 2 states. In fact, the evidence is there online on the IREV, the result viewing portal where the Electoral Commission posts results. The Labour Party didn't stop there. They also brought other ballot papers that the Electoral Commission gave to them. Most of them were plain papers. Some of them are blurred. You can't see any result on them. In order to prove that their votes were hidden in these blurred copies, they tendered their own party agent copies that covers the 18,000 polling units. So the number of votes they are expected to recover when the votes are counted in these hidden units is about 2.5 million votes. These votes alone pushes the third person to the second position. Another thing the petitioners showed the court is the fact that the Electoral Commission were supposed to upload the results immediately vote counting finished at the polling unit. They were supposed to snap them with their Beavers machine and upload it to their INEC servers so that anyone can log in anywhere and verify the results, because on their way to collation centers, anything can happen to the ballot papers. Even the Electoral Commission did not argue about it. They only said that there was a glitch that prevented them from uploading presidential election results. Meanwhile, 2 other elections that were held simultaneously, the senatorial elections and the House of Reps elections, they were all uploaded successfully. So the petitioners proved to the court that it was an intentional block, that someone intentionally blocked the upload of presidential election results so as to arrive at a predetermined election result. So the fact that the Electoral Commission did not upload the presidential election results in real time on election day is in violation of the electoral law, which says that it must be uploaded in real time. And according to the electoral law, if the non-compliance is substantial, it will lead to cancellation of the results. So it's left for the judges to determine what substantial means, whether the non-upload affected the outcome of the election in a substantial manner. The petitioners proved that because the results that the Electoral Commission cannot account for affected up to 30 million voters. That's going by the number of PVCs collected. Not that all of them will come out to vote on election day, but you can understand that even if 30% of them comes out to vote, that means we are talking about 10 million votes unaccounted for. Not that one candidate will receive the 10 million votes, but no matter how it is distributed, it will substantially change the outcome and the result of the election. Before we make our prediction, let's address the conspiracies. You won't blame Nigerians for their loss of confidence in the judiciary. A lot has happened in the past few days. where people who didn't contest a senatorial primary election later became winners of the said elections, which is in violation of the electoral laws in Nigeria. There's no excuse for such judgment coming from Nigerian judiciary. When judges turn the law on its head, people will lose confidence. They can no longer confidently say that black will be black in front of a judge, unlike the golden years of Nigerian judiciary, the years of Honorable Justice Oputa in the Supreme Court, Honorable Justice Kayodeso of the Supreme Court, and many others. Some people claim that the judgment that the judges will deliver on Wednesday was written by some politicians who are lawyers. Is it true or not? There's simply no evidence. There are conspiracies surrounding the date they chose, that's Wednesday, because of the NLC strike that will start tomorrow and continue up till Wednesday. Without prejudice, even if the judicial workers will join NLC in the strike, the people that have a role to play in the judgment at the appeal court must be there on Judgment Day. There are also conspiracies about why the judges chose to cover the Judgment Day live so that people can watch it at home on television anywhere in the world. Some people are asking why the judges decided to do this one live when they denied Nigerians live broadcast during the hearing. Without prejudice, it means that this judgment will be a landmark. That's why they want it live. Now to our prediction. When you look at all the grounds for the disqualification of Tinubu and the annulment of the election shown in this video, you will understand that it will amount to the rewriting of the Constitution for any judge to rule otherwise. Yes, that's what it means. Despite the loss of confidence in the judiciary in recent times, you see this one, it is different. It will amount to colluding with the respondents in order to free them from all the grounds. The worst that can come out of this is an annulment of the election. A fresh election will be held. That's the worst that can come out. If they do their jobs very well, that means the rightful winner will be declared on Wednesday.